Hi.
Hi. When you are doing a low budget film, you're usually like pretty on your own during prep and pretty on your own during post, and then you kind of bring everyone in for production. So like production wasn't even the most different for me, but it was the prep and the post where I was like working with all these new people when I wasn't really used to that. So that was like so eye-opening.
It's almost over.
It's almost over. Okay. Shall we go? Okay, 3, 2,
1,
3.
3.
Okay, this is the last time we have to do this, Jamie. Let's just do it right.
Have you been filming much? No, for yourself.
I haven't filmed anything since
party tonight.
So this is editing with John in his little suite. Working with John was really eye-opening. Like I felt like I learned so much just like witnessing what he was doing. And just the way he knew the scenes inside and out and would like find amazing solutions.
Wallis, I think she might have checked.
And he really cared about the story, you know, like he really cared about building the story with you.
Like a misconception that an editor is literally just like cutting and pasting and putting things in order, but they have so much power to change the story and to like raise the stakes and change like the emotional arc in a scene. And it would be just amazing how like once we do one scene and we'd use like a specific cutaway for someone's reaction, and you know, looking side by side of those two reactions, they didn't actually seem that different, but like once you tried a couple of them, it would change the whole, it would change the whole meaning of the scene. So just like little stuff like that was so cool to be able to observe. Okay, so this is working with our music supervisor, Jody, and Vlad, who he was working with. He was so much fun, but him, like most people in post-production, did not want to be on camera. Basically what he did is he helped to select and license all of the like real music tracks that are in the show. So I think we went in just like once or twice to just like look at the different options in the scene, like with full music, and just try and see what worked best. And what was gonna like work best with like the score that we had maybe going in and out of it. But yeah, that was something that I've never been able to do really on that level. Oh, this is ADR. This is me throwing the camera at Andrew and saying, "Film me, I'm busy." Okay, Jamie, can you explain what ADR is for people who don't know?
So ADR is like recording extra lines for, say, something that wasn't able to be well recorded because of the conditions of the set, or lines that you realized in the edit would help the story more that you never recorded originally. So like new lines that you can like adjust the writing.
Found her in the woods, half frozen to death.
Loved it. We had to do ADR with like maybe 7 cast members. Annalise, Marcus, and Jim we had to do remotely, which is what I'm doing right here. And this was kind of the first time I got to like direct actors again. I kind of like surprised myself by how easily I kind of like went back into it. And Alan was really great to work with too, because he just had like such a practiced ear for knowing like what was gonna work.
I just have a note, Devery. You're kind of chewing on a French fry. Think you could mimic that?
I could try.
The other really terrifying thing about ADR is it's usually the cast's first look at anything. And I don't think I even thought about that until halfway through, and then I was like, whoa, I'm so embarrassed. I had this playlist that I used to kind of guide the composers as well as Jody that were just stuff that kind of I was like listening to the whole time while I was working on Cold, like from the very, very beginning, just stuff that I associated with it, which is really helpful because then you can just sort of send that off and they can get it instead of you having to like try and describe it. Like something that I realized was I don't have a good vocabulary when it comes to describing music.
Oh man, it's so hard working with composers and people who know music so
Yeah.
well. I just want it to sound lighter.
Yeah, and you have no idea what that actually means. The music that they made for this was so, like, ineffable. Like, you couldn't, and it was something that we talked about a lot, was, like, we don't really want any, like, obvious, like, this is this instrument. We wanted it to feel really kind of ambiguous.
Yeah, it was just really, like there was a lot of ambience and booms and, like, slow, non-rhythmic stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, color correction.
Is that what's next? There's like one clip of it. This is me being like, oh shit, it's too dark. How you doing, Ryan? How you doing? You're just a silhouette. You're just a dramatic silhouette. It's one of those moments where, like, it's very much about, like, the DP and the colorist working together to figure out, like, what the looks are gonna be. But obviously I was very involved with, like, setting the looks. But it was a long time. Like, we had so many different scenes to get through, so many different looks to set. And luckily AJ was really nice to work with, our colorist. Yeah. We had this beautiful puppy named Prince, who was often around. Simultaneous to doing the color, we were also receiving our VFX files. And I don't have any footage of VFX because it was going on, like, in St. Catharines, I think. But what did we do for VFX? We definitely added snow to a couple scenes.
Like breath was a big one.
Yeah, we added some cold breath. We had to, like, paint out some chords. I didn't really know what to expect from the sound mix. I had never supervised a sound mix before. I don't really consider myself someone who knows much about sound or how to talk about sound. Mm-hmm. But I'd say that this was the most beneficial in terms of, like, what I learned throughout the post process. This is where I actually, like, went in the beginning not really feeling like I knew anything or knew how to give notes, and then left feeling like I knew how to talk about my mix. And, like, I was so excited about the mix. Like, I never really understood the gravity of a mix before.
Right.
And now I, like, appreciate it a lot more, especially because, like, the people we got to work with, Daniel Pellerin, and then his assistant Brett. Daniel was just so, like, he was like an artist. Like, it was like he was painting with sound. It was really amazing. It was the first time where everything came together. Like, we were looking at, like, the color corrected image, all the VFX was in, the music was finished, all of the ADR was in. I always thought mixes was just, like, about, you know, changing the volume, but it was it was like so much more than that. I'm, like, so excited about it. Like, I cannot wait to do another mix because it just felt so, like, enlightening. It's just so different because, like, in production, it's like every day is different and there's so much to film, and post is so, like, it's boring to look at. It was so much more, like, relaxing. Like, it was still, like, stressful. There's still a lot to accomplish, but just, like, the difference in how it felt to, like, actually being on set was insane. I was, like, sleeping every night. Like, I was, like, eating well. I, you know, was able to hang out with friends after, and yeah, it was just...
We saw so much of each other this year because of this. Yeah, it's. I mean, I think it's great to go through that, like, because it's an education that you really didn't have a chance to get yet. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
I just can't believe it. You look so much like your mom.
Why did you kill her?
Dead wife, it has to be the husband, right?
You're my father, and I deserve to know the truth.
I don't know who killed my mom. Maybe it was my dad. I just have to know.
They started disappearing 20 years ago. They were found in the wilderness days later. 9 girls.
What happened to Mom was random. Someone was using her to get to these girls.
Go home to your uncle before you dig up something that ought to stay buried.
If your mom's death is related to the others, walk very carefully.